Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title, this is yet another thrift haul. Do I go thrifting too often? Probably. I am genuinely so excited for this video. I know I say this in every thrift haul, but I feel like this is actually one of the really good ones that I have done in a very long time. I have such a good mix of different things to show you guys. We have an entire stack of books. This is sitting on the ground as well, and it is almost as high as the length of my tripod. We have some baby stuff, we have some homewares, we have clothing, we have shoes, we have games, we have got the lot. All of this stuff I think was found up here in Auckland as well, which is quite nice. I am just going to be showing you the things that I've bought for myself, but just know that my husband Phil has also found some bits and pieces for him. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. So let's switch it up a bit. Let's start with the shoes first. So I have a couple of pairs of shoes. One of these I have shown in my updated shoe collection, so if you watched that you will have seen these. We will start off with this pair of just classic black Converse. So I have been wanting a pair of classic black Converse for so long. So I have white high top Converse, pink high top Converse, and low rise white Converse. So I really wanted a pair of black just to like fully complete my collection. Now these ones here, just very classic, just your classic high top Chuck Taylor with the little Converse logo, little Converse at the back, classic white laces. This is like the 75 range, I think it's called, where it's like more padded on the inside than like your standard Converse, which is absolutely fantastic. These I actually bought on Facebook Marketplace, so I always include Facebook Marketplace things in my thrift hauls, and I think these were $45 on Facebook Marketplace, which for Converse is quite expensive because generally you can find Converse in the op shops. Although I have found black Converse, but they're always in really crap condition. Still cheaper than brand new, because brand new these would probably cost me about $150 with the padding. On Marketplace people do tend to price Converse at like $90. The soles are like not even worn, so we love that. And then the last pair of shoes I thrifted a couple of weeks ago, I think. I tend to go thrifting for reference like once every couple of weeks if I can. Some days I will make like a whole day out of it. I'm not even going to be able to show you guys in the full frame. This really nice pair of long black suede over the knee boots. But these are like kind of like thigh-high suede boots. They have a little zip running down the side here, and then they do have that little tie at the top, so you can like, you know, cinch them in, tighten them, make them fit really nice. I like that they have a bit of a heel, but it's a block, so it's nice and stable, and it's also like not too high either. These ones here are actually from Merchant, because they're the Isabella and Salmi range. They are like a little bit dirty and like muddy on the bottom, but like whatever. They do have the little sole grips on the bottom as well, and I was shocked to find these not like in a locked cabinet, but then I feel like they were kind of deceiving because they were just like sitting on the shelf like that, and you don't really think much of things when they're sitting on the shelf like that. And I currently have a pair of like black over the knee boots, but they're a mix of leather and suede, and they're completely flat, so they're obviously a great option if I want a flat pair. But if I want like a bit of a heel, like if I'm wearing like a dress or like a skirt with a blazer and I'm going out for dinner with Phil, it's nice to have a bit of a heel, to have something dressy. And this is only $5. $5 for a pair of suede leather boots, which if I was to buy these at Merchant, they would probably cost me about $500, and I managed to find them in the Albany Hospice for $5. I am stoked. We are like going into winter here in New Zealand, so I've kind of been like prepping my winter wardrobe. So next up we might do some homewares, so I may as well stick with the things that I bought on that same trip. So I managed to find this really nice light brown casserole dish. It didn't have a lid, which is fine because I don't usually use lids anyways whenever I'm cooking. I just thought this would be like a really nice big serving dish. And we have my parents coming up here in June, and so it'll be nice to have some like bigger things to serve. And when we hosted Christmas, we ran out of like all of our containers and all of our casserole dishes because a lot of them are like quite small, and we only had a couple of big ones. Love the color. It's kind of just like a very like chocolatey ice cream color, and yeah, it was in really good nick. Like the bottom is still pretty good. This one is ceramic as well, so I know it'll last a really long time. And again, Albany Hospice, only $6. You cannot go wrong. And then in that same trip, I picked up something that I actually did need, and that is just a little white spoon rest, I think is what they're called. But I have been wanting some of these because whenever I'm cooking on the stove top, I always end up putting the spatula on the bench top, and I know whenever Phil cooks, he folds up like a little paper towel and rests the spatula on that, and it's just not great. We're obviously going through a lot of paper towels doing things that way, so I thought we'd just get a little spoon rest, so then we can like rest like our spoon or our like spatula or whatever on here whenever we're cooking. We have actually used this before and it is super nice. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's like ceramic or china or something. This is from the Williams Designer Homewares White Basics. Oh, it's porcelain. There you go. First quality porcelain. Dishwasher safe, suitable for freezers, conventional and microwave ovens, made in China. I think this is only $3 from the Albany Hospice. Let me check. Yep, $3. And then in that same trip, I also managed to find these really cute mugs. So I loved the colors. Originally, I saw the green one first and I picked it up. Thought it was super cute, but we do have a lot of mugs as of right now, and I was like, oh, you just don't need it. And one of my thrift hauls that I did like a couple, I think it's like a couple of them back, I thrifted like a little green jar that was like the exact same color as this, and you guys all loved it when I showed it in my thrift haul. And so I was like, oh, it'll match the like jar thing. So I grabbed it, held on to it for a bit, put it back, and then when I saw the pink one, I was like, okay, now I can get them because these are a set because they're exactly the same. The green one does have like the smallest of nicks under here. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. So I originally wasn't going to get it because it did have that small nick, but it's only like in the bottom of the handle and it's like so tiny that I was like, you can literally still use this and be fine. They're like still really nice on the inside. They are a bit more of a smaller mug, but I know that this fits under Phil's coffee machine, and sometimes the bigger mugs that we have don't, so he likes using the smaller ones for his coffees in the morning. I don't know where they're originally from because it doesn't have anything on the bottom. It's not quite like a pastel green, but it's not like a bright green either. I loved this shade of pink. We've got a lot of pink in our kitchen, so I thought this would go nicely. And then yeah, I'm obsessed with this green color at the moment. Anytime I see something in this green, I am just drawn to it. So these are only $1 each, again from the Albany Hospice. Thought it was great, thought I'd add them into my mug collection. And then in a different trip to the same Albany Hospice, I also found this cute little pink teapot here. It's got the little metal lid. It doesn't have the little thing on the inside, but we don't really have loose teas here. We have tea bags, so we just put the tea bag in here. Does the trick. We just didn't have a teapot at home at all, and I thought it would be nice for like when we have people come over if they want tea. And Phil actually used this when his friend Andrew came over, and Andrew's a tea drinker, and so he just filled up this pot of tea for Andrew, and it was really nice. Like, it was nice to be able to be like, here's your tea, you can like pour as much as you want, blah blah blah. I am tempted to find like a little like milk serving jug thingy, so that like I can give people like a cup with a little teapot and a little milk jug if they would like milk. I don't know where it's from. It just says KK, but it has the little name underneath, so if you want to search it up, it is the Teapot S/S lid W/infuser 500ml 4ASS. But I just thought it was so cute. Again, I loved the little pastel pink. Thought it would go really nice with our colours in the kitchen, and we've currently got this sitting on our bench by our coffee machine. It was only $3 as well, so I thought that was such a great deal. And then the last homeware item that I have that I can physically show you guys is just this pack here of red wine glasses. So at Christmas time at New World, they were running this promotion where like if you spent like $20 you got a sticker, and if you saved up all your stickers you could get different wine glasses. Phil and I, we thought about getting a pack of the red wine glasses, but we just never ended up like getting one because we were prioritizing others. And we don't really drink a lot of red wine, but we thought it would be nice to have a couple in our like kitchen stuff at home in case we have people come over who prefer a red wine, or like if we do want to drink red wine, then we've got glasses that we can drink them from. So this is the, I can never know how to pronounce this, the brand is here. It's the Capri red wine glass. This was $10 for the 2-pack. It hadn't been out in the op shop very long either, but this is what they look like here. So these I think would retail for about like $100, $80 a pack if you were to buy them brand new. They have like the little brand name on the bottom here. This pack here we found in the Salvation Army in Glen Innes, which is East Auckland. So next up I might do a game. So I do have another game, but it's like a kids game, so I'm gonna save that for like the kids section. The game that we got is Old Maid. So we got the Old Maid card game. I feel like this is just a classic that everybody has in the games collection, and Phil and I didn't have it, so we thought we would grab it. The little cards are super duper cute. They do have all of the cards here as well, and the instructions I think as well, which is fantastic. I honestly love thrifting games. Like anytime you can find a game that has like all of the pieces there, I am like, yes. And this one was only $1.80 from the nearly new op shop in Glen Innes. So I thought for $1.80, yes please. I think this costs like $7 to $8 in Whitcoulls. Next up I'm gonna do the baby things. So again, I'm not pregnant, but when I see cute baby things I just buy them and I put them away. I have a container right to the left of where the camera is of just like books that I've managed to thrift and like toys that I've had from when I was younger that I'm keeping. I have a couple of sheet sets that I've managed to thrift, so I may as well do like the game to follow along in this baby section. So I managed to find this really cute Winnie the Pooh memory game, so I thought this would just be great as they kind of get to maybe like age 2 or 3. It says for 2 to 4 players. It's from Disney. I loved the little print on the front. I thought it was really cute. Has the little instructions on the back, and all of the cards are there as well. Like we counted them at the checkout and they're all there. So this one here, it's from the Holdsons company, and it says for ages 3+, but I feel like if you had a 2-year-old that was like really switched on, you could probably play this and be fine. $5 from the Dove Hospice in Glen Innes. And yeah, I just thought this was a really cute one to just have aside, and especially like if we have people come over that have kids and like want to play a game. I feel like this, and we've also got Candyland, which is like a very like kid friendly game, and I honestly love anything Winnie the Pooh. So next in the baby section I have a book. So I also managed to find this, which is super duper cute. So this is My First 1,000 Words. It says award publications. I found this in the nearly new op shop in Glen Innes. I think it was only about $2 or so, and I just thought it was such a good one to have. So this will be able to just teach our kids about like words and different things. So you have like things like your body and your face. You have like a family tree, so you can teach them how like families work. And then you have like clothing, and then it has like house, so you have like the outside of the house, and then you have like the different rooms in the house as well, and then it has obviously like all of the like words for what things are. I thought it would be quite good as well because they've got them around the outside, so I can be like, where's the clock, and then they can look in here. You've got like the bedroom, so yeah, you've got like study, you've got the hall, you've got the garden, and then you've got like your fruits and your drinks. You've got like the grocery store, you've got school as well, which is awesome. So it goes through different things. You've got like things for school, lessons, got a section on shapes, you've got colors and flowers. The town square honestly gives me life. I think it is so incredibly cute. You've got jobs, beach. The beach one gives me life too. I think it's so cute. Honestly, like for $2, like why would you not buy this? Animals, like wild animals. Hospital. I was looking through this with Phil, and Phil was like, oh, this is pretty cute. Then you've got like the days of the weeks and the months, the weather and the seasons, telling the time, and then like the time of day. We've got space. This one gives me life, the fairy tales section, like, oh. And then you've got numbers. The numbers section does have a little bit of scribbling on it, but it's very minor. What a steal for $2, right? And then the last thing that I bought in the baby section of this video is a little clothing piece. When I first saw this, I died. I was like, this is so cute. And then I sent Phil a picture, and I was like, Phil, should I get this? Because I just think it's so incredibly cute. And Phil was like, yeah, that's really cute, get it. So it was nice that like he was like, yes, you should buy it. And it is just this cute little baby romper. Like, are you kidding me? And it has like these little teddy bears on them, and it says twinkle twinkle little star, like my heart. And then it has like the little cuffs here, and then it has like the little foot thing, so like it's attached, and honestly I just thought this was so cute. You've got a little like zipper going down as well. I don't think it goes down all the way, but like the zipper does work as well. Oh no, it does go down all the way, goes down all the way to the leg, which I feel like is quite good. But this one is the Teeny Weeny brand. It's a 00. I could not leave this. It feels pretty good quality as well, and this one was only $2 from the St. Vinny's in Glenfield. Right, I might actually do some clothing now, because I feel like that's why a lot of people watch these thrift hauls, is to see all the clothing. I don't have as much clothing as I do some of these other things. I will obviously do try on shots. Don't really need a lot of clothing, and I'm not really going into thrift stores at the moment looking for clothing. I'm mostly looking for like homewares and books and baby things as of right now. So I managed to find this really nice mustard ribbed t-shirt. You guys would have already seen me wear this on my channel. It's just super duper comfortable. It's quite like a nice long top, so it's not cropped, which is nice, so I can easily tuck it into things. It's got that really nice ribbing material. It's quite like a soft mustard. It's not like a deep dark mustard, which I actually really like, because I think this lighter color suits my skin tone a little bit better. I really want to do my like color analysis to see like what colors I actually suit. It's originally from Dottie in a size small, so I wasn't sure if it was gonna fit, but like totally fits me fine. This one was $4 from the Panmure Habitat for Humanity. So the Habitat for Humanity generally does have some really good clothing in Panmure. Then speaking of basics, I have another basic. I have this really nice kind of like beigey color top. It's kind of hard to describe the color, but that's probably a little bit better as to what it's like in real life. But yeah, I really love this. It's very, very soft. It's actually the same top that I would have showed you guys in my clothes swap video, the green like baby top. I love like t-shirts like this for wearing with like baggy pants. So this one's originally from Cotton On. It's called the Baby Tee. It's made in Bangladesh, and this is a small. And again, this was only $4 from the Panmure Habitat for Humanity, so love it. I have a strapless top that's in this exact shade, and I wear it all the time. I do love it. And then I got those two on the same trip, totally forgot to say. And then in the same trip I also managed to find this, which I'm going to show you in a second, which I have literally been wearing to absolute death. I was shocked that I found this, to be honest, but it is this really nice like cable knit cropped cardi. So the sleeves are like quite nice. I do roll them on the end, and it's just got this really nice like chunky stitching as well. And then it does also have like a roll turtleneck type situation, which I do tend to like roll like all the way down, kind of like this on me, because turtlenecks don't suit me because I have a very small neck. This one here, it's more of like a roll neck when it sits on me, and that suits me really nice. But yeah, I love the color. It's kind of like a creamy beige, but I honestly was shocked to find this, because I feel like this is just so incredibly trendy right now. So this one is originally from the Love Stitch brand. I'm not too familiar with it, to be honest. This is in a size medium, and at first I wasn't sure about it because like it was a little bit itchy when I tried it on, but I thought, oh, if I layer up it should be fine. And then I washed it with like wool shampoo, and it made it so much softer. So now I literally reach for this all the time, and I'm so stoked that I got it. And this one here is actually, it's 70% acrylic but 30% wool. So it keeps me nice and warm in the winter time as well. And I just thought this would be such a nice knit. And it was only $6. So it's $6 for a woolen jumper. Like, you cannot go wrong. So I may as well stick with the jumpers. So I also grabbed this black long sleeve knit jumper. It's probably going to make me very overexposed when I'm showing you this because it's black. Kind of just has like a crew neck and then long baggy sleeves. It's cropped, which is nice. I do have a black knit jumper in my collection already, but it is more of like a fitted longer jumper, so I thought I would get this cropped one. This one is originally from Cotton On in a large, and I actually got this one for only 50 cents, guys. 50 cents from the Albany Hospice, so I am stoked. Hopefully I'm in kind of the same position. My battery just died, so I have just changed it over. That brings us to the last clothing piece that I have for this video, which is just a pair of jeans. So it is just a very classic, nice, kind of like medium wash of denim. Now these ones here are actually the same style of jeans that I showed you guys in my clothes swap video, the one that was like one leg was denim and the other leg was white. These ones I didn't actually try on in the op shop, but I did that trick where you like measure it around your neck, because the circumference of your neck is actually the same across your hips. So this one here is the high 90s style, originally from Cotton On, in a size 10. So I knew that they would fit me because in general I'm like mostly a size 10 anyways from Cotton On. They're quite like stretchy as well, like they've got quite a bit of stretch to them. I cannot close my jeans drawer now, but here we are, buying more jeans. These ones here were just $5 from the nearly new op shop in Glassons. Alrighty, now we move on to this massive stack of books here. So if books don't interest you, feel free to click out of this video now. We'll start off with my most recent purchase. That is this one here. So this is She's on the Money by Victoria Devine. So I listen to the She's on the Money podcast, which is run by Victoria Devine, who is a financial advisor, and then she always has a co-host. So at the moment it is Georgia King that is her co-host. They're still making episodes now, and I've honestly been listening to their stuff for like 3 or 4 years, and it's just a podcast all about money. I think it is so interesting. I've learned a lot from listening to their podcast. I actually listened to a podcast from them while I was doing my makeup today to film. I listen to their podcast when I'm like cooking. I used to listen to it when I was driving to work as well. They just have a lot of helpful tips on like how to manage your money, how to budget, how to invest, all of that kind of stuff, like weddings, babies, divorce, like all of those kind of things, and like the costs of everything. When she released her book, I was like, oh, I really want to get my hands on it, and I managed to find it on Facebook Marketplace, and it was only $15 including postage. So I thought, yep, that is fantastic, I will buy it. And then if you guys are interested, you can pause the screen here, because these are all of the ones that she goes through in her book. I love the cover as well. I love like the combination of like the pastel pink and the gold. I think it's stunning. Next up I have this book here, which is actually a book that I have read before, and this is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Conn and David Levithan. So this is like the alternative cover, which I actually think I prefer, because the other one has like 2 people on it and it's like black and white, and then the people are in color, which is okay, but I much prefer this because I think it looks nicer. It also feels very soft. I read when I was in high school, and basically this guy leaves like a little note in a book in a bookstore for like someone to find, and then like they do all these adventures essentially that he's got planned. And so Lily is the one that finds Dash's note in the bookstore, so they meet in the bookstore, and so it's kind of like a bookstore romance that develops, and it's really, really cute. David Levithan is one of my favorite authors. He's written Every Day and Another Day, which are like kind of companion novels, and I love the way he wrote that, and I love the way he writes Dash. If you're following me at Christmas time during Vlogmas, I read The 12 Days of Dash and Lily, which was their Christmas version of this, and I loved reading from Dash's point of view, but I couldn't care less about Lily's, and she kind of annoyed me, and I feel like the story overall was just a little bit too cheesy and a bit too young for me. So I did actually give that book to my sister, but I much preferred this one, so I might reread it at some point and make sure that I still like it. But this one here I know I found in the Dove Hospice shop in Glassons, and this one was only $3. So the next book that we have, I actually didn't post on my Instagram because it is quite a sensitive book that talks about a lot of sensitive topics. So I didn't want to act like I was promoting it on my Instagram, but I managed to get My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell on Facebook Marketplace for $8. Now this book, I would proceed with caution. I have not read it yet. This chick dated her teacher in high school, had a sexual relationship with him, and now he is being put on trial for like sexual assault and sexual abuse. But she was convinced back when she was younger and like dating him and sleeping with him that he was in love with her. That isn't a spoiler, by the way, like that's what's on the back of the book. But I think it talks about like emotional manipulation quite a bit, and obviously like talks about rape and like other things. So it is quite a sensitive book. I really want to educate myself about this kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a heavy book, but it had been on my list to buy for a while, and I had been trying to buy this a couple of other times on Marketplace, and it was always like selling out really quick. This next book here was actually not on my list to find, but I saw it and and I read the back and I was like, oh, this sounds really interesting, so I thought I would grab it. I've heard no reviews on it, but it is Force of Nature by Jane Harper. So I have The Dry by Jane Harper, which I haven't read, but I did watch the movie of, and I loved the movie. I thought it was very well done. I do want to read that book, and I bought that book from Rachel Catherine's recommendation. So when I saw this one by Jane Harper, I was like, oh, I might just pick it up, read the back, see what I think. And when I put this on my Instagram, because I always put what I thrift on Instagram first, I had some people message me and be like, oh my gosh, I just finished that book, or like, I'm just about to read this book, like I'm so excited, and like it's so good. I'm excited. I love the cover. I think it's stunning. This is a thriller. 5 women go on a hike, only 4 return. When a group of colleagues are forced to participate in a team building exercise in the Giralang Ranges, they reluctantly start walking down the muddy track, but Alice Russell doesn't appear at the other end. Her last phone call was to Federal Police Agent Aaron Falk. Alice is the whistleblower in his latest corporate fraud case, and as he pursues the investigation, Falk uncovers a tangled web of suspicion and betrayal. And then it just says, how well do we know the people we work with? This one here I got for $10 from the Jason Books op shop. It's like a secondhand bookstore in Auckland City, just off of where the Chancery is. I don't actually know what the street is called, but it's kind of like a little underground bookstore, like you go down the stairs. It's kind of tucked away, so you'd probably miss it if you weren't looking. Next up we have a Christian fiction book. So I picked up this one here. So this is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I heard Rachel Catherine talk about this book, so thought I would grab it. It's basically a retelling of the story of Hosea. Hosea was like a man who loved God and who was in Israel at the time. Was it Israel? Egypt? I really should know this. I went through Hosea last year with my friend Holly. The Israelites are not following what God is telling them to do. So this one was $10 from the Evermore bookstore, which is a Christian second-hand bookstore in Mount Roskill. So if you're Christian and you live in Auckland, go check out Evermore in Mount Roskill. They're open every day except Sunday. We have another thriller. So I managed to find The Perfect Wife by J.P. Delaney. So this is the author of The Girl Before, which I have on my bookshelf. Haven't read yet, but I thought I would grab this while I saw it. It's like a bit bunged up, but like whatever. This girl wakes up in hospital with no memory of how she got there. Her husband is by her side. I think at first like all her memories are a bit confusing and are missing, but then it says like as her memories return, she realizes that something is missing from his versions of events, because 5 years ago this chick was pronounced dead. Seems interesting. I found in the Panmure Habitat for Humanity, and this one was only $2. I'd actually been looking at buying this off of Marketplace, but then when I saw it for $2 in the op shop, I was like, yes please. The next 3 books I'm going to do together because I bought them from the same seller and they're by the same author. So they are just these 3 Emily Henry books that have the new covers. So I much prefer these covers to the old covers. I like that they're like bold colors. I just love the graphics. I think the graphics are absolutely stunning, so I really wanted to buy these. These I found on Facebook Marketplace. I got them for $28 for all 3, which is pretty good. So we have People We Meet on Vacation, we have Beach Read, and we have Book Lovers, which these are like 3 books that are like absolutely hyped up on the internet, especially with Happy Place just coming out by Emily Henry, which I do want to get my hands on, but I do want to read like at least these 2 before I read Happy Place. I don't actually know too much about what they're about. All I know is that Emily Henry writes a lot of the time about people who are authors that like fall in love in a lot of like second chance romances. I love the spines. Next up I'm going to show you a couple of books that I found on the same trip as that J.P. Delaney book. So we managed to find the 1st and 3rd Narnia books from obviously the Chronicles of Narnia. I remember having this read to me when I was in primary school, but I've never actually finished the entire Chronicles of Narnia, and I was like, well, I may as well. We've got the 2nd book on our shelf, which is the famous The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which I've read like twice. I got the 1st book, which is The Magician's Nephew, and the 3rd book, which is The Horse and Its Boy. They're just like a little cute small little size. So Phil and I are currently looking out for like the last ones, because I think there's like 7 in the entire series. Could be wrong, could be 6. These 2 here we got for $2 each. Again, yeah, Pad Mule Habitat for Humanity. They have a really good book section. Okay, the next two books I'm gonna do together. I did buy them on separate trips, but I both bought them from the same place, and they are again like Christian novels. And actually sticking with C.S. Lewis, haha, I have these two. So I have Mere Christianity and The Screwtape Letters, which are two of like C.S. Lewis's most popular Christian novels. I bought both of these from the Evermore bookstore. Mere Christianity was quite pricey. It was $22. Screwtape Letters, I didn't buy this from Evermore. I've seen this in Evermore, again for $22, but this copy I bought on Facebook Marketplace for $5, I think. Continue doing some like non-fiction. This is not a Christian non-fiction, but it is a non-fiction nonetheless. So on Facebook Marketplace, I managed to find this book here. Now, I had already tried to buy this once, but it sold before I could even buy it. So when I found this a second time on Marketplace, I could not say no. I absolutely had to grab it. I have heard good reviews about this from Rachel Catherine, and this one only cost me $15. $15 is kind of my limit with books on Marketplace if it's for one book alone. This one is The Girl Who Fell from the Sky by Emma Carey. It's an extraordinary true story of resilience, courage, hope, and finding lightness after the heaviest of landings. It does also have like pictures and things in it. So basically this chick, I think when she was in her early 20s, jumped out of a plane when she was skydiving with her friend on a trip, and her parachute didn't open. And so she just plummeted to the ground and had to like learn how to walk again and learn how to like, yeah, I guess just be like a normal human being again. I think this will be a really eye-opening story. I also like that the spine is yellow. And again, I'd heard Rachel Catherine talk about this book, so wanted to get my hands on it. So I managed to buy Confess by Miss Colleen Hoover, or Miss Coho as she is often referred to. Her books are always popping off. I love her writing. I've read November 9 and It Ends With Us by her. I have like, I think like 6 or 7 of her books on my bookshelf, but I really wanted to get my hands on Confess because, again, heard Rachel Catherine talk about it, thought the concept sounded interesting. Basically, this artist gets people to anonymously submit confessions that he has, and then he paints them and puts them up in like a big display. So obviously he doesn't like say this painting is this person's secret, but like people can go and view his gallery, and it like has all these like secrets and stuff about people. So that's where you get like the Confess title from. This one here was $15 again on Facebook Marketplace. Again, I have tried to buy this multiple times on Facebook Marketplace and it's always sold out. So the next two books are part of the same series, and they are just 2 more books in the Vampire Diaries series. So if you guys watched, I think it was my last thrift haul. If you missed it, I'll leave it down below and in the eye. I thrifted books 1 to 7 in the Vampire Diaries series. So Phil and I have been watching the Vampire Diaries on Netflix and we absolutely love it. We are about halfway through season 6 at the moment, and we're really excited to like finish the series, but it's been really good so far. And so I thought I would read the book series because it's based on a book series. They're written by L.J. Smith, and this one here is actually books 3 to 4, which if you guys watched in my last video, I thrifted the movie cover version of books 3 and 4 because I wanted to have it just in case I wanted to read the series while I waited to thrift this. But I found someone on Facebook Marketplace that was selling books 1 to 8, and so I picked up this one and I picked up this one to fill in the gaps for my series. I believe there are 14 books in the series, so it is the longest series that I think I will ever read, because I read the Left Behind series, which is like 12 books, and I thought that was a lot, but this is 14 and I have the first 8 now. But I wanted to swap out the movie cover that I have with this more classic cover, because all of my other books that I have in the Vampire Diaries series all have this cover, like this kind of style of cover, so I wanted them all to match. So this is books 3 and 4. This is The Fury and the Reunion. This cost $5. And then I also have book 8, which is The Hunter's Phantom, and again only $5. So now I have books 1 to 8, and then the last 3 books that I have for this video are 3 books in a series, and they are just 3 books in the Left Behind series that I was just talking to you guys about. So I read the Left Behind series in high school, absolutely freaking loved it. The Left Behind series is kind of like a take on like the end of the world. It is a Christian series. It kind of tells like Revelation, but in a way that you can kind of relate it to this world. I've been slowly like collecting the rest of the books, so now we have most of the series, I think. Assassins, which is book 6. They're written by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins. We have The Mark, which is book 9. This one here, which is Glorious Appearing, which is book 12. So the only book I don't have is Armageddon, which is book 11. I am stoked that I've managed to find these. I got all 3 of these from the same seller. She was selling books 1 to 12, but she was missing book 11. Otherwise I would have got book 11 as well. So I'm currently on the hunt for book 11. The books were $5 each, but I did have to get them shipped. So altogether I paid $22.40 for all 3 of these. I've been keeping an eye on Evermore books as well because they do stock the series. But the last couple of times I've been, they've only had the first 3 books. So there we go guys. Finally we are at the end of this video. I know this video has probably been very long, so thank you for sticking with me through to the end if you are still here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please make sure to turn on the notifications and check out my social media. It's always linked down below in the description box. I will leave my thrifting playlist down below and in the eye for you guys as well if you do want to catch up and watch some more thrifting videos. It's such a good way of shopping sustainably as well, and just making sure things don't go into landfill. As you guys can see, like, you can find some really good things if you just hunt. Take your time. I always go on a weekday because it's more quiet. Let me know down below what was your favorite thing that I thrifted. I would love to know. And I shall see you guys in my next video. Bye.